Hello, welcome to this video. It has been a while, but I'm back with a music related video reviewing some stuff. It's December and it means end of the year, and I'm going over my list of my favorite albums of 2023. Note that this isn't scripted, I just have some notes of my favorite albums, and everything I say will be improvised. And as I'm recording this video, apparently Kanye was supposed to drop, but he fell off so hard that I really just don't care about it anymore. Okay, starting off with my 8s. I'm going alphabetical order. This is not by rank. This is an underrated pick, I think. Angel Electronics, Ultra Paradise. It's a pretty fun and genuine pop punk album. Has Ada Rook and Ash Nerve as the members, and I used to be a big fan of Black Dresses, and just deep diving into Ada Rook's work, and she is in a lot of projects, and this is a good addition and a different turn of music that she's most known for. We got Jessie Ware, That Feels Good. Great comeback from her last album. It's not as good as What's Your Pleasure, but I think it's a pretty fun, nice addition. There's some fun bangers throughout the album, and overall, just something just absolutely vibe to. Well, this one kind of got like popular on TikTok, which was Joey Valence and Brae's Punk Tactics. I mean, they just fully emulate the Beastie Boys and like 90s rap. It's pretty fun to listen to, and you know, the rollout was a bit different because they had a lot of singles, so most of the album was singles, but it flowed decently, and it's a solid first album, to be honest. And next we got Uchis, Red Moon and Venus. Nice R&B. I think she's pretty consistent. I still think Isolation is my favorite, but I think this might be a good close second. It's some great hits like Moonlight and I Wish You Roses. They are pretty good tracks, and I go back to the hits and I think listen to it a good few times. Oh god, Cara Jackson, Why Does the Earth Give Us People to Love? It's a very poetic, unique album. She has such a unique voice. It's really deep and expressive. I grown to really like that style and singing music. Obviously it's kind of like folky and pretty long for the average person, but it's a really interesting, nice listen. Next we got Lana Del Rey's Did You Know That There Was a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard, or just Ocean Boulevard for short. Good addition to Lana. I think it's easily a top 3 Lana album. It's pretty solid. Some I think some interesting experimentation she tries, especially with A&W, and I thought it was interesting with like the features and stuff. So I mentioned this album beforehand. I've grown to really like Lana Del Rey and listen to her a lot this year. Next is another, I think, underrated pick is moistbreezy's Planet Pleasure. It's like a much more like Y2K electro, pop electro, Eurodance type music, and she's just a very underrated artist. I even did a review on this in for Ringtone magazine. It's a pretty fun poppy album to listen to. You just don't really have to think. It's just cute, you know. And next we got Heaven Knows by Pinkpantheress, a late release, but overall pretty good welcome one. Glad Pinkpantheress finally has a full-length debut album. It's really solid, really nice, just smooth to listen to. I think it would have been perfect if the features were not that abruptly contrasting in some of the songs, but overall, like, her voice and the production still really good, really smooth, really good debut from her. Next we got Rebecca Black's Let Her Burn. This is another debut album. I've been looking forward to Rebecca Black, her debut album, for a while now, and her first single for that song, Crumbs, was pretty insane. And the rest of the album, I think this album has been overlooked by a lot of people now since it was released in the beginning of the year, but I look back to it and I still go back to some of the tracks. It's still pretty fire. Like the cover. And we got Slayyyter's STARFUCKER. I was looking forward to this second album of Slayyyter. Pretty big fan of her. And I really like the new direction and aesthetic she went. It's like a vintage Hollywood femme fatale type of vibe and look. And she goes to that like synth pop type sound. But she still has like her experimental roots with like purr and plastic. It's still pretty nice to listen to. And yeah. Next we got Snow Strippers April Mixtape 3. I got into Snow Strippers this year and I think their discography is phenomenal, very consistent and solid. I think it's pretty fun, this mixtape. It's a great addition to the April trilogy or whatever April mixtapes, how many they're making. But I just really think that they're just a pretty cool band and represents modern EDM, witch house, all those type of genres pretty well. Next we got Travis Scott's Utopia. Personally, I didn't expect for me to like it so much, but like there has been some solid beats throughout this album, some good features, and I didn't expect to like a mainstream rap album this much, but I pretty much like it. I mean, the rollout was such a mess. I personally wasn't looking forward to this album because of like just witnessing some parts of the rollout. This is like a 2 or 3 year long rollout. It was pretty messy, but I was surprised that fulfilled my expectations. I think another underrated pick is a TURQUOISEDEATH Bueno. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that, but it's a pretty impressive album. Considering that the producer is only like 16, it's really impressive. It like combines genres like breakcore and shoegaze, and it's just a really nice atmospheric, mainly instrumental album to just contemplate to. It's also a cool cover. Yeah. And we got Underscores, Wallsocket. My favorite track is Old Money Bitch. I keep going to that one, but I just like how it kind of combines some roots of hyperpop and Midwest emo, which is I feel like an interesting genre combination. Underscores, she's very expressive, and I feel like this album seems to be pretty personal to her, so I think this really delivered and executed well, and it's a really clear vision. And last on the 8th list is Yeule's Softscars. This kind of grew on me. I'm a big fan of Serotonin 2, and it's a much more rock direction than just like electronic ambient, but overall it's I think I like how melodic and structured songs were. I think it's a pretty consistent album throughout, and pretty good. There goes my 8s. Now to the 9s. Alright, we got from first 9 is Carly Rae Jepsen's The Loveliest Time. I really liked how experimental she went with this album. I mean, experimental to Carly standards, because I always thought like she has a good discography, but I think she's a bit consistent. So I think it was nice that she changed it up a bit. You know, going with like more slow and synthy type style production. It's a really good change in direction for her. And I think this album's way better than its sister album, The Loneliest Time. I thought The Loneliest Time, it had some nice highs, but it was a bit too inconsistent for me. And next album is Caroline Polachek's Desire, I Want to Turn Into You. It's a pretty good comeback from Caroline. I thought the rollout was personally pretty long. I mean, I loved Bunny as a writer when it first came out, but the gap between it and the album was pretty big. But the singles have been so good, like Sunset, Blood and Butter. There's some just great highs throughout this album, and even some great non-singles like Smoke. And overall, like I think it's a pretty solid listen to, and I think I might like it better than Bang. And we have it, my album of the year. I I think this is an interesting pick because I haven't seen really many other people pick this. It's Hannah Diamond's Perfect Picture. I have been looking forward to a second Hannah Diamond album for a while now. I'm a big fan of some of her hits like Fade Away and High. I just love like her vision and overall aesthetic. So I'm glad that she came back with this second album. And yeah, just love the aesthetic, like, you know, the poster girl, the pretty pink. It's just really cute and endearing. And I think there's just consistent pop bangers throughout this whole album, and I just really love it, and I think it's my album here. So yeah, those are my album picks, and I wanted to wrap this up pretty quick. And joke's on you, this microphone is not actually connected to this phone, and it was just an illusion for you to pay attention to me speaking. Well, have a nice day.